All right, the sleeve is gone. She's over there. Let's start. Oh, it's upside down. I'm an idiot. Okay, so I'm about on page 32. This book just kind of jumps into it, which I can really appreciate. It's conscription day, so that's basically where they choose which field they're going to go into. So far we've learned about the scribe, which is what she wanted to be because that's what her dad was, but her mom was like, no. And then she'll be going into the fourth wing. Her mom's like a general. She's like in charge. I think she's like one of 3 or something like that. I might be understanding that wrong, but her sister also has like the same reputation of being like a super badass, and her sister was basically just worried about her being too weak to do anything. So right out the gate she was immediately offended. Like right here it says, "Are you calling me weak?" And she's like, "No, just fragile." And she's like, "That's not any better." Her sister helps her out, makes her get rid of all the stuff in her pack. She was packing like books and like sentimental stuff, and she was like, "No, get rid of it." Because you're not gonna make it, and it's supposed to rain, and they have to go across. In my head, when I'm picturing it, it's like a beam that they have to walk across because the risk of falling is pretty high, and there's like a big storm coming. I don't know, they call it a parapet. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm gonna look that up. Parapet. That's what they have to walk across, but I'm just kind of imagining like a beam. So they're having to walk across that. It's thunderstorming, heavy wind. She's like 95 pounds, so it's like blowing her around and stuff. She's one of the smallest people going into this, and they make that extremely known. She makes like 2 friends immediately. I think his name was it Dylan? I don't know. I literally can't find it. I don't know if I'm being blind or what, but she makes 2 friends right away, a girl and a boy, and they've both been training for this forever. We're learning a little bit about how things work. So if you're in the 4th wing, you get to get married first, and they made the joke that it's probably because you're gonna be quicker to die, so that's interesting. And then he was gonna propose to his girlfriend, but of course, you know, as soon as you make a friend in something like this, they're gonna die. And he does. But Violet, the main character, everybody keeps being like, "Oh, you're so-and-so's kid." Her last name is Sorengel, and everyone's like the Sorengel, like And if I mispronounce anything, I don't want to hear it. I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best. But we made it. We've already made an enemy. Jack is trying. He is out for blood. He wants to kill us. And our sister warned us about this guy named Aiden, I think. There's an X. I don't know. I'll look up pronunciation. But of course, we're going to end up getting mixed up with these people just because we're not supposed to. So page 32. Gonna read more. This is literally so annoying. So we met Dane, which is the childhood best friend, and he doesn't believe in her at all. He is trying to sneak her off to the scribe quadrant. He just doesn't believe that she's gonna be able to make it at all. And she's like, "I'm already beating the odds. Like, I was able to get across and a bunch of people have already died, so I'm beating odds already." And he's like, "Okay, but there's a bunch of people who didn't get bonded with the dragons last year, and so they're also going to be competing. It's not just the people who signed up with you." He doesn't believe in her at all. He thinks she's gonna die. And I'm like, can somebody believe in her? Because this is rude. Okay, so I had nowhere to set this. Here's setting in a cabinet. I have to get ready for a birthday lunch. So we're just gonna chat while I get ready for that. Also, ignore how my hair looks. I was at the lake yesterday and I didn't want to wash it because tomorrow's the 4th and I'm probably gonna be getting in the pool or something. So I didn't want to wash it just to get chlorine in my hair. Unimportant, no one cares. Anyway, so I just read some more, and so Dane, our friend from childhood, he thinks we suck. He thinks we're weak, whatever. There's some like tension between them, like they obviously had a fling or something in the past, but I mean, I don't see that moving anywhere. Like it might be some kind of like weird love triangle or something, but I wouldn't want to be with someone who doesn't believe in me in the slightest, and was literally trying to send me back. Like he was trying to sneak her down the tunnel, send her back to the scribe thing. He was like, you can take that test and this can all just be like a really fun story for you to tell like after you pass the scribe test, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, bro, like not our first choice, but you can definitely tell that she's getting like sick and tired of like literally every single person doubting her, including her sister. And it's like her mom might not believe in her in the sense that she did when her sister and her brother went through this, but she believes in her enough, which is saying something because her and her mom are not that close, and it doesn't really seem like she was very maternal at all towards any of her children. So the fact that she's like the one person that's like, you can do this because you're a Sorengil or whatever, it's kind of disheartening to say the least. They kind of do like a sorting thing. It was almost like Harry Potter vibes with like the sorting hat, because there's 4 different wings. There's first wing, second wing, third, and then 4th. And she gets put in, I think, the first wing, and she's like, yes, this is with Dane, my childhood bestie, whatever. He doesn't believe in me, but he will protect me at least, even though he's annoying. And then as soon as that happens, they're ordered to swap groups. Like, I think it was the entire group they swapped. And so then she gets put in Zayden's group, the 4th wing. So that sucks. And then we learned that 301 people made it over the parapet, and I think it was 60 something people died. And then also we learned that everyone's like, the magic isn't the same, so depending on the dragon and who they bond with, the magic is different, and you get different, I think they were called like signets, like I guess that's a kind of power or whatever. She's wondering what Xaden has because everyone seems to step out of his way and be kind of afraid of him, so she's wondering like how powerful he is. Oh yeah, and then the dragons, when they come down, I think I like went way off like thought. Oh, not me literally getting powder in my hair. Embarrassing. The dragons come in and they immediately are spotting out the cowards, like they don't care. I think it was like 60 something people made it, and then by the time the dragons came, they killed like 70 something people. Oh, so like 70 people died, not like 70 extra people. But then now there's like 70 people that make it. One of the dragons lines up with her and is kind of like playing a game of chicken with her or something. Like, are you gonna scream? But she kind of holds her head high and she's like, nope, I'm not gonna do that. And she was like, I can't tell if it was like respect or boredom or what from the dragon, but he let me go. I'm interested to see how this is gonna work out, like whether we're gonna have some training before we try to get a dragon, or we're gonna go straight into just like trying to bond with a dragon. We shall see. I don't know, it's going really good so far. My favorite thing about it is that she just kind of jumped right into it. Like, she didn't take the time to build the world first and then jump into it. She's building as she goes, and it's not for our benefit, which I like. It's like she has her little bestie. I'm gonna have to look up how to say her name before I say it. But it's like she'll be explaining stuff to her for her benefit, but obviously it's for our benefit, which I really like. Like, she was explaining the 4 different wings, and I found that really helpful. And she was like talking about how they operate, and I was like, see, this is what I like. I would prefer them do that because the story is automatically interesting. Sometimes fantasy stories are a little harder to get into. I'm doing this backwards because I've never like filmed myself doing my makeup. I usually put this on before powder, but whatever. We're just doing whatevs today. But usually they're harder to get into because you have to build the world first. Or typically they do try to build it first so that you're not confused. But the way that she's writing it, I love it because she's jumping right in. Like, the first 20 pages are just preparing to go, and then you're in it. Like, she's like, all right, this is what I'm packing, saying goodbye to my family. I was supposed to be a scribe. Like, my dad died, blah, blah, blah. My mom was forced me to do this. Nobody believes in me. And then we're just there. We're like we're getting into it. We're in line, and it's crazy. Okay, so we've just like did some sparring. We got our ass handed to us. They have a group of people. They have, it's almost like a branding that lets you know that their parent was a traitor, and if they have that, they're basically just traitors, and everyone knows that their parent did something illegal, and they were murdered, and the kids suffer at the hand of their parents being traitors. So one of those girls beat our ass because technically Violet's mom had her parents killed for whatever they did. Not sure what it is, but she beat the crap out of her. So that's terrible. We kind of cut to a week later, and we are out after curfew, and we're looking for poisonous berries to kind of give her a leg up since everyone's stronger than her, and it's going to be like hard to take them down or whatever because of all these fights that they're doing. As she's climbing down from the tree where she got the berry, she notices that the girl that broke her arm or whatever is walking with Xaden, the guy who wants to... She's kind of like, are they together? Like, what's going on? Then more people show up, and they're all those people that have that marking that's like their parents were traitors or whatever. And they're not allowed to meet in groups larger than 3. So they're like committing treason by having this meeting. And she's like, oh my God, I have to like figure out what they're saying so that I can turn them in. And she listens to what they're saying, and she's like, oh, they're just like getting training help. That should not be punishable by death because we're all doing that. You know what I mean? She's helping someone with history because she's really good at it since she was supposed to be a scribe, and another girl is helping her with training, you know, so she can learn some moves, keep herself alive, hopefully. So yeah, and then we find out what Xaden's power is. He controls the shadows. One of the most lethal powers because you can literally control the shadows. Like, she threw some daggers at a tree, and he just had his shadows take him out. He didn't even have to lift a finger to kill someone, which is crazy. And during the meeting, they were like, when are we going to kill Violet? And he was like, she is mine to handle. None of y'all mess with her. She was like, me? Something to be handled? That's so dumb. Like, what is he talking about? And he ends up plucking us out after everybody leaves because, like, the shadows knew she was there. And they had like their first little interaction one-on-one, and she was like, are you not gonna handle me right now? And he was like, it's not gonna be fun if you know it's coming. And it's just kind of like, okay, but super cute. We love the banter even though it's talking about killing her. But a sprinkle of what's to come. Okay, literally so much has happened. I've been here for a while. We went through the gauntlet and we finally made it. We figured out how to do it. It's freaking time to meet the dragons. I don't remember if I've talked about, there's like a bunch of different kinds of dragons, but the Feathertail is one of the most dangerous ones, and they don't bond with people. One of them has decided to go, and they're like, it's probably not there to bond, it's just there to watch, because dragons get to choose whether or not they want to bond that year. And I'm like, what if we freaking get that one? That's the only thing that's going through my head as they're sitting here talking about this dragon and how it doesn't bond. I'm like, is this foreshadowing? Are we gonna get that freaking one? We shall see. Okay, I'm literally sweating. So they were all gonna try to, or all of the people who have been giving us trouble this entire time, they were all gonna try to kill the dragon because it's way smaller than the rest, and they were like, it's weak and we have to kill it. And she was like, oh my god, obviously you can't do that. That goes against everything we believe in. You can't just kill a dragon. And they're like, whatever, we'll just kill you both. It'll take out both weakest links at once. And now I'm stressed. Ah! Okay, so we just saved the, oh my god, what is happening? So the Feathertail saved it, like defended it with our life. Xaden like tried to help us and was like narrating it to us, which is surprising. He's supposed to be our enemy. While we're in the middle of our defending ourselves against 3 dudes, the black dragon, which is like the biggest one, comes and like protects it, and it starts talking to her, and she's like, oh my god, you're like talking to me, and it picks her. So she got the biggest one and she's the smallest person there. This is why it pays to be a good person, because she got the baddest one out there now. Ain't that right, Moose? No. Can someone please tell me why I'm literally sweating reading this? This is unnecessary. Like, why am I so stressed? Her and Xaden's dragons are mates. T. And she bonded with the little one too. 2 dragons. 2 dragons. We're now debating whether or not she can keep them. Tense. Oh, and Dane said that he wouldn't have intervened and saved her life at all. Some bestie. Ooh. Everyone's gonna be trying to kill her because she bonded with him. Because he was unavailable, but she was trying to, this is too much. This is too much. Oh my god. 41 people are gonna be trying to kill her. Girl! More than halfway through the book. So much has happened. I think when I left off, it was like, oh, people are gonna be trying to kill her. Yeah, that definitely happened. A group of people broke in and tried to kill her. Our boy had to come to the rescue. He came in flying, like, he killed everyone. It was crazy. And so now we have, like, he assigned basically a personal bodyguard to her. His name is Liam. He's super sweet. Love him. I just got to the point where she's starting to share more with the dragons. She's starting to be able to feel their emotions full force. As we know, her and Xaden's dragons are mated. So they were, you know, getting busy. She's like got this uncontrollable, like she's feeling the same thing. So she's just lusting around, and she almost ends up like with Liam, so she has to like get out of there. So she has to go outside, and then of course, because their dragons are mated, he feels the same thing. And they were outside. I'm sorry, it was so overwhelming. They were outside, and he was apparently smoking something. I had no idea what it was, but I don't know, essentially weed or something. Whatever. and they ended up kissing, and things were getting hot and heavy, and he was like, no, stop, we can't do this because these aren't your feelings. And she was like, but aren't they? Okay, so Major T, I did not get the first edition print, so I had to wait for mine like a peasant for the reprint. And let me just say, can you see that? It's like coming off on my fingers. Rude. Can you see that? Like, this junk's crazy. Okay, so it has been 24 hours since I finished, and I'm still in mourning, and I will be until November. It was so good. I'm not even being dramatic. Excuse the up close angle. I'm too embarrassed to put the phone down lower. I was like, I guess you can see my whole face, but I'm too embarrassed. There are people walking around. I can't do it. Whew. I mean, it was just a lot. It was chaotic. It was a mess. Like, I have no words. We lost Liam. Oh God. Okay, but let's just start from the last place I remember talking about. The power couple finally gets together. Dane's being a complete arse, and no one is surprised. I mean, he's just constantly coming for her neck. Even after all this, literally has 2 dragons, still doesn't believe in her, still thinks she needs to be saved, and it's just like she's not a damsel. So let's get over that mindset. They finally get together. It's beautiful, epic. It's like they have their little moment, and they have a moment where he's like, we can't be together, you can't fall for me, and she's like, you don't get to tell me what to do. But then they finally get over it, and they have like a really good few days. I think I say that, but it's literally like 2 days, and then they get pulled to go on their last little test, which is like the war rides or whatever, but they have to do that, and she gets pulled to be on his team. Obviously, of course, that causes a big issue with Dane. I just can't. He is the new Gale. He literally is. So they're on their way, and they stop about 30 minutes from where they're supposed to be meeting for the games. Oh my God. And then it's like these riders come in, and it's the people that they're fighting and have been trying to steal their crap, and like we know them as like bad people, and they know Xaden. And she's like, what? And then she slowly realizes that every single person there has the traitor relics on their arm, and she's the only one who doesn't. And she's like, y'all have been lying to me. What the heck is going on? And it turns out Xaden's been giving those people weapons to fight, and it's just like a big plot twist. Remember those books way back in the beginning that Daddy gave us? Yeah. Those are actually really important, and they're banned. And the reason that she couldn't find them in the library when she was feeling homesick is because it's like the only edition, the only copy left. So that's great. That's super stressful. Oh yeah, and it turns out all the monsters in those books, yeah, no, they're real. They're real. So people who can like completely take and let the magic corrupt them, they're real. And they invented these creatures. I cannot pronounce them, but essentially off-brand dragon, if you will. And it's super crazy. Dane, our little friend who can read people's minds or whatever. Yeah, he read our mind. And he figured out that something Xaden had told her she didn't realize it was connected to this whole thing, but Dane did, and he tattled, and now we're in the middle of a freaking actual war, and the college that they're at is like, okay, you can either come back, or you can save these people from these creatures. And a whole village of like 300 people are gonna die. Duh, of course we save them. And it's like a whole thing. There's a whole freaking battle. Super traumatic. We freaking Liam died. Moment of silence. Especially because they had a little tiff right before. And I just feel so bad. Like, right before all this happened, Violet finally got her signet, and she's able to control lightning, so that's pretty cool. And so she uses that during this battle, and she isn't fully trained with it, so she ends up falling off the dragon after using it, and then she was poisoned during the fight. So, and then she was asleep for 3 days, and she didn't even get to go to his funeral, and it was so sad. Oh my god. And then that ending, the last line with the biggest freaking plot twist. The plot twist, can you guess what it was? I didn't guess what it was. If anything, in my head, I was like, her dad is alive. Like, that was what I was thinking. If anybody was gonna come back from the dead, I was not thinking it was gonna be her brother. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Especially considering that all these people were punished for his death, and he's not even dead. So I'm gonna need someone to explain that to me in book 2, because I'm over here thinking about all these lashes that Xaden has on his back and all this craziness, and the homeboy isn't even a goner. He's here, he's present. I'm so confused. But it makes so much sense why Xaden never wanted to kill us, because he knows her brother's alive. He knows that she's been lied to too. You know what I mean? Oh, it's so crazy. And then I, of course, went on TikTok immediately after to see what everyone was saying, because I couldn't watch it. And I saw a video where this girl had gone through and counted every single time that Dane touched Violet and probably stole her freaking memories. It was straight up like 30 times. Like, unacceptable. Unacceptable. I'm gonna need a full apology. Oh my god, I do not want a redemption arc. I want him gone. It's on sight. Violet needs to gut him. I cannot. He's such a little traitor. He's such a little traitor. Gale 2.0. I can't handle this. It was so good, though. If you read the ACOTAR series, I loved it. I thought it was, obviously, I loved it. I loved it so much. I love Fourth Wing more. And I think a big reason for that is it just feels so much more mature to me. Violet never really doubts herself. Like, she has those moments that we all have where she's like, dang, maybe what they're saying is true about me. Like, maybe I am a weakling, blah, blah, blah. But she just has so much more faith in herself, and she doesn't let the opinion of others get her down too much. I can really appreciate that. I also like that the characters are older. That, for me personally, that helps. And I just love how much more mature everyone is. And Violet's a badass from day one. She's like, I can do this. And I just really appreciate a character where it's like everyone's assuming she's going to be weak, but she comes out on top. It shows that there's so many more ways to be strong than just physically, and I really love that. One of her biggest strengths is just her mind and being able to logically think things through and break things down. She doesn't let her emotions take over, and I can really appreciate that in a character. Yeah, I think this will be one of my new favorite series, and I cannot wait until November. Literally about to pre-order the next book now.